Uh-oh. Are we live? Are we live? Yes, Jack Move Johnny, I owe you some goddamn royalty points for stealing your intro. So let's go ahead and let's get into the show. Gotta give my favorite people a round of applause for checking in tonight. Here's another one for you. Here's another one for you. This is just love technology. So welcome back to another show, another video, and a brand new episode. And of course, you know you're now rocking with the best word up. Shout out to everybody who came on and watched my previous video. If you didn't, there's no link in the description. But still, check out my channel. Go ahead and subscribe if you're new. Hit that like button already, even before you even heard what I had to say, man. Word up. And I'm not even getting paid for this. I'm doing this for the love of the people, for the people, for the people. What's up, everybody? I hope everybody's had a great day. I hope everybody had a great time. I hope everybody's been enjoying themselves. Hope life has been treating you well. I hope everything's been going well. As for me, so far things are going pretty good. I actually found my wallet. In case you missed it, last week I lost my wallet. I came home from church and I didn't know where I put it at. I ended up putting it in my book bag, which I thought, but it was in one of my side compartments. So I was without my wallet for 4 days. I had to get some new cards and all that good stuff. You know, the adult thing to do, you know that. But I did find my wallet. And I was so happy about it. I can't even express my joy how happy I was to find it. This past Sunday, I went and had breakfast with one of my friends, my longtime co-worker, girl named Linacia. Hadn't seen her in a while since she's got a new job. She's doing very well. We had some time to catch up, which was really cool. It was really cool. I enjoyed it. Enjoyed our time together. You know, so we could do the catch up stuff like grown folks do. So that was a pretty good time. Went to church on Sunday. Had a good time at church. I ain't gonna front on that. You know, and so yeah. So far this week hasn't been too bad. Other than having bill collectors come around and well, not come around, of course, call and telemarketer calls and all that. But I know you guys ain't here for that to hear about my woes. All about my woes. You know what Drake made a song about? So today, fellas, even though I'm looking at my Spider-Man on my PS4 right now playing, well, I was playing it before I got on for guys like, yo, I got to do a show, right? So I was playing Spider-Man, trying to get the rest of the collectibles. So today, I kind of don't want to talk about video games today. I know you're saying, Bean, what's new? You don't know, every time you're in the podcast, you don't hardly ever talk about video games. But in a roundabout way, it still pertains to video games as well. As you can see from the title of the podcast, and I know you guys are saying, Bean, nobody listens to you. You're just talking to yourself. I don't care. I don't care. Somebody's listening somewhere. Even if it's just me. This is just training for whatever I got coming to me in the future. So I don't really care. I ain't getting paid for it anyway, right? But anyway, as you can see as the title displayed, and I always wanted to do this video. I ain't gonna front. I always wanted to make this a video. I thought about this for about a couple of years. Well, not a couple of years, but about a year or two or whatever. But I never really done any research on it. I still didn't do really any research on it. I kind of just winging it. So I'm no expert. I'm just giving you my opinion. Now, you may disagree with my opinion, then so be it. But then if you agree with it, then you're the smartest person in the world. I just have to tell you that. Just playing. I'm just playing. Just jokes, man. These jokes. I'll be here all night and twice on Fridays. Don't forget to tip your bartender. You know what I'm saying? You got to be nice to the bartenders. Word up. But today, what I want to talk about is brand versus rep. Your brand versus your reputation. Now, at first glance, you would say, Bean, they're pretty much the same. They're not the same. They're similar, but they're not the same. And I think in the society that we're in, that we live in, we get those two constantly incorrect. And as far as what I'm saying is, just off a general layman's term, when it comes to your brand is something that you produce, something that you make. I know you say, well, your reputation can do the same thing. That is true. But I think there's a concrete difference between your brand and your rep. think your brand is what you project outwardly, what you want it to be, is what you want other people to see you how you are. You want people to see you as this, and that would be your brand. Or if you're selling sneakers, of course, sneakers. A whole bunch of manufacturers make sneakers, but but it's only one manufacturer that makes Nike. It's one manufacturer that only make Adidas, and they make a different style of shoe. It's a different type of shoe. Even though their shoes from Adidas to Converse to Nike to New Balance to Reebok, but the different brands have a different meaning to people. As far as your rep goes, your rep is something that that who you are. It's exactly who you are. For the most part. Now, don't get me wrong, it can't be twisted that your reputation can be like, oh God, he's a good, wholesome guy. Like I've known somebody, and I'll go into that story a little bit later about this guy's rep. This young man's rep. And it's ruined now. But your rep typically means who you are. It's kind of keep you grounded. And for an example, like when I use rep, and this is probably not the best example, but this is one of the examples. Like if you hung out in the hood, right? If you grew up in the hood, or you got your parents with you, or you have your parents, and you know if you screw up, your dad has a reputation of busting you behind every time you screw up. Or if you grew up in the hood and you knew, not saying I'm a hood dude, but you know somebody got a reputation of being a beast, being a killer, you don't mess with that dude. You know not to mess with him because you know that's who they are, and their reputation precedes them. Usually, if somebody's got a big enough rep, people get quiet. Get quiet. They know, hey, I can't do X, Y, and Z. So that's why I'm wondering. I asked this question: is your brand more important than your rep nowadays? Is this what we are, or has this been like this forever? You know, I'm sitting there thinking about that today while I was doing treatment. Like right now, I'm just dog tired right now from treatment. And I was thinking about that while I was sitting in the chair. I was like, man, it's amazing what what people will or won't do just to protect their brand name. For an example, if you sit there and you see politicians, right? You see politicians, or you see a particular company. Oh, you know what's a perfect example? Nike. Nike. As you saw a couple of weeks ago, Nike, they sponsored Colin Kaepernick. And people on the far right and on the right wing, for the most part, were saying that Nike's ruined their brand. They was out there burning sneakers. They were out there cutting up their socks. But people on the left or the progressive left, they were championing what Nike had done as far as their brand name. The bottom line with their brand, when Nike did that, Nike knows that controversy sells, and they're gonna make a ton of sales, especially amongst the leftists, and let's be honest, amongst the urban American people. They're gonna buy the hell out of some Nikes, and they ain't buying the cheap $25 Nikes. They're gonna keep spending that $200 and $300 on a pair of Nikes. You know that because of Colin Kaepernick, and that's what their brand was backing up Colin Kaepernick. Now, as far as your reputation goes, like far as people with your reputation, and this is just my opinion. Usually, if their reputation was something like, no matter what Colin Kaepernick had done, no matter how they viewed it, they wouldn't have backed him. Like they said, they wasn't supporting anybody who took a knee. They took a knee in protest of police brutality. But what if that was their reputation? When they did that, they more likely would do it with everybody. But see, with a brand, and not saying that your reputation can't change and won't change because you may become a different person, but usually your reputation won't allow you to do something that's really against what you believe in. A brand doesn't. It doesn't matter. Most of the time with a brand, they're looking to make the most people happy and the biggest dollar signs in their pocket. We have this in our society as far as if you look at rappers nowadays, even back in the day when I grew up in the golden era of rap when lyrics actually meant something in rap music. Yeah, y'all youngsters, yeah, I'm the old school grumpy guy because y'all don't be saying nothing in y'all music and y'all be just like loving it. Y'all just love it. I'm not saying the beat don't be fire. The beat be fire. I ain't gonna front. But when I listen to your lyrics, I'm like, yo, they ain't saying nothing, B. But there's a lot of rappers that's out there. And like one of them, now low key, I like this dude. That's Tekashi 6ix9ine. Cause I listen to the lyrics what he says. He can kind of rap a little bit. Not the greatest lyricist in the world, but he can rap a little bit, in my opinion. He has some nice beats. I can't front on Tekashi. And he's on his Try My Gangster World Tour where he always does. But I think that's more part of his brand versus his real reputation. Now, I'm not saying he don't get busy. I think the people in his crew really get busy. I ain't disrespecting his crew. I think his crew really get busy, but I think Tekashi brand is to troll everybody, to get his names up in headlights, get his name popping on top of the charts, on top of the vlogs, on top of YouTube, on top of social media for his album sales. Which ain't nothing wrong with that. If you're gonna grow your brand, you got to get rich. I get it. But I think his reputation, if his reputation was his brand, then I guess that's what it is. But I don't believe that it is. He probably a real cool, mild-mannered dude. And that's the thing that we don't get to see about our favorite celebrities. We believe what they put out, and all it is just the brand. It's what they want us to see, who they want us to think who they are, and they're nothing like that. But usually when times get real hard, that's when the real reps start to come out and you really find out who they are. And then that's when you say, well, damn, he wasn't real. Ain't none of us real. All of us are hypocrites to a certain degree. Don't even front on that like, no, not me. I wouldn't do it. Yes, you probably would do it. With all that money in your face, you trying to tell me that you're guaranteed to make up a couple $1 million a year? That you wouldn't do it? I think we used to call that back in the day selling out, right? That's what we used to call it back when I was growing up. Just call it selling out. Or other people would say buying in. But so which is more important? I ask you again, is it your reputation or is it your brand? Another example would be, in my opinion, is Kanye West. Kanye West. Musically, this guy is super talented. I love this dude when he raps. He says a lot of deep stuff. If you get past the antics and the buffoonery, the dude says a lot of deep stuff. But his brand conflicts with his reputation. He said, Bean, well, how does that happen? Now you think about this when Kanye first got put on. I know you kids only probably know Kanye from the Yeezus and all that. But when Kanye was working really hard to get put on, the type of music that he put out and the way he portrayed himself was something similar to pro-black causes. You know, he talked about the diamond mines in Sierra Leone. You know, he talked about, the hardships of women, and again, being fake or whatever. His troubled childhood. He's a college dropout. He was really pro-black on a lot of issues and talking a lot of stuff. Even in his music now, if you listen to it, if you listen to his newer stuff, it's the same thing. You hear it. But then there's that other part of Kanye that's all of a sudden now, since he's got with those Kardashians and his mother passed, he's pro-Trump now. Why is he pro-Trump? Why now all of a sudden he's gone from pro-black to pro-Trump? Doesn't make any sense. But he wanted to change his brand to reflect his record sales. He wanted his record sales to go up. And one way you can't knock him, the other way, he's full of crap. He's full of crap. One minute he's loving black people. The next minute he's saying slavery was a choice. He's saying stuff like that. I'm not trying to devolve it into something like that with race, but he changed his whole brand of who he was. And everybody, if you listen to the radio stations, the urban station, or you listen to a lot of YouTubers, everybody say, man, we want the old Kanye back. We don't like this new Kanye. It's like having, if you're old enough, or if you're going to ask your parents about Coke versus New Coke. And I ain't talking about the one you sniff up your nose. I'm talking about Coke versus New Coke, the drink, the soft drink. Because I remember when that happened. I was a kid then when that happened. New Coke was terrible. So they had to go back to the old formula. Maybe Kanye can go back. You know, he jokes about being in the sunken place. Everybody says Kanye's in the sunken place. But his brand is more important than his old reputation about who he is and what he used to stand for. Or at least maybe he never stood for that. Maybe this is the real Kanye. Maybe this is who Kanye always been. But he was using that part of the brand of being pro-black to get himself on, to get into the radios, get on the radio stations, to build his empire, to get into the homes of young impressionable youths, or people like me who like good music and also like to hear the realness. You feel me? So it seems like more often than not, by expanding your brand, expanding your product, putting out somebody who's putting out a product where you can actually make a ton of money. Usually your reputation is not going to make you a lot of money. Your reputation can be, hey, you're a hard worker. He's going to work hard. Doesn't mean that he's going to make a lot of money. You can see that in sports a lot. See, work really hard and not very good. And you see other guys who don't work as hard be better than everybody else. I can't really name one off the top of the head right now that who didn't work really hard and still was better than everybody else. But that's kind of here. That's kind of not hitting where I want to hit at. But like I said, people brand is just it leads to a lot of fake people, man. If you think about this, if you think about it, a lot of times your brand. You know why a lot of people get mad? Because they're worried about what other people look at them and what they think of them. Because your brand won't let you stand up with your friend. If your friend reputation, he's doing X, Y, and Z, and you believe in that cause, but your brand is more important than his reputation, more likely you're not really gonna stand with your friend. I'm not saying that your friend could be dead wrong, but you won't sit. Most people won't sit there and support him. Most of them were like, well, you know, he went off the deep end. I don't know what to say. He just looks bad with me. If I got him in a photo with me, then it's gonna make my brand look bad. People gonna think bad of me. Now, sometimes, don't get me wrong. Sometimes with your reputation, you have to do that. You have to step away from some people. I'm not saying you shouldn't, but I still believe that your reputation is your character and who you are and who you really are. Your brand is just something that's portrayed out there that you want the world to see who you want the world to think that you are. So that's why a lot of people get hurt. That's why a lot of times when we see our favorite, let's say we see our favorite actor or a ball player, you know, somebody we look up to in society. Another perfect example is Robert Kelly, R. Kelly, one of my favorite artists of all time. But when you find out what he's been doing to these little girls or these young women, these women who are underage, or what he's been doing was rumored to be doing allegedly with these sex cults. Now they're grown women, don't get me wrong, but it's sullied his whole brand. You think about this, in the 90s, was the baddest R&B singer on the planet, especially during the 90s when he had hits like I Believe I Can Fly, The Greatest, all kinds of stuff, great ballads. If I Could Turn Back the Hands of Time, then you had the party tunes, you know, going half on a baby, the Chocolate Factory album. Come on, man. At one time, nobody was touching R. Kelly, but little cracks beginning to show when him and Jay-Z got together, and Jay was talking about, hey, R is tripping. Wow, that's amazing. We know which artists we talk about by just using the letters. That's brand. That's brand recognition right there, baby. But we started seeing the armors in the crack of our favorite, well, at least my favorite, one of my favorite R&B singers, because you know R. Kelly was so talented. He can make a song out of bubble gum. Literally, could write a whole slow jam from the word bubblegum and be a top 10 hit. Easy. That man's a bad man. I ain't gonna front on that man. That man's a bad man. Look at Trapped in the Closet. I know all y'all seen Trapped in the Closet. We never seen anything like that. R. Kelly was so talented. I see now these rappers trying to do what he did on the Best of Both Worlds soundtrack. If you ever seen the Best of Both Worlds on both CDs, he was doing this before the rappers were doing it, and he was killing it. If you listen to his CDs, he was rapping and singing at the same time. I don't know how he did it. I still don't know how he does it. If you go back there and you actually break it down, how this guy was structuring his music and how this guy was singing and rapping at the same time, yo, ain't nobody done it better since. Nobody. These young rappers who want to sing, they can't sing anyway, but they can't flow. Look at Drake. Drake can flow. I love when Drake rap. I hate when he sing. But R. Kelly's one of those dudes I can listen to the dude rap and sing because he does it at the same time. It was phenomenal. If you go back and listen to Best of Both Worlds 1 and 2, go back and just listen to it. Just listen to how he structured his flow and his lyrics. It rivaled Jay-Z. I'm telling you. I know you guys say, well, I don't believe you. I don't believe you. It can't be. Just go back and just actually listen to the structure of the music. Now, I'm no music historian. I'm saying music historian, but I'm no musical guy. I never went to school for music, but I know what good music sounds like. I know what somebody got talent can do something. You go back and you listen to it. You may not like the music per se, but listen to how he put the words together and how he structured the songs. I'm telling you. R. Kelly was a bad man. I'm telling you, R. Kelly was no joke. But his brand was based on sex and making love, which is nothing. Trust me, I believe me, ain't nothing wrong with that. I have plenty of nights of when I'm with a young lady and we're bumping some R. Kelly. Don't get it twisted. It was always in the playlist because R. Kelly was no joke. No joke as an artist. But his brand, what he put out to, I want to say just because we had a brand of R. Kelly of him in the urban environments, just a cold word for black. He had a brand, especially in the 90s, where he did songs with Celine Dion, and I Believe I Could Fly, The World's Greatest. Those are things that touch mainstream appeal. In other words, the white folks was buying the stuff. But when it came out, him allegedly peeing on this young lady, and of course, marrying Aaliyah when she was underage, rest of soul, God knows, I used to love me some Aaliyah. That slowly starts seeing the downturn of R. Kelly. You start seeing it. And now his brand is toxic. Nobody wants to touch him. Coca-Cola don't want him on their products. BET barely wants to put him on a video. Spotify and all those guys, they took him off the playlist. I think his music's still there. Of course, the music's still there because if somebody wants to buy it, they still get paid off of it. But as far as the featured playlist, it's not going to be there. Why? Because his brand is toxic. But if his reputation was good, this hood would pass. I don't know how he's going to rebuild his reputation. I don't know how that's going to happen unless he actually tells the truth and comes truth about everything he's done. Look at the Boondocks. The Boondocks did a story about R. Kelly, which was so perfect. The Boondocks is one of the most underrated shows that ever came on. Not season 4, but 1 through 3, where Aaron McGruder was there, the creator. It's one of the greatest shows that was ever on. And I remember they did this. They did this show. They did the one with R. Kelly, and he was going to trial, but nobody cared about the evidence because they said this Negro can sing. Good singing was the reason why nobody paid attention to what he was doing. And Huey was pointing it out. Because he makes good music doesn't mean he's a good person. And that's another thing with being somebody's brand. That doesn't mean somebody's a good person because their brand is very good. They could be the most evil people in the world. And that's what a lot of us hide behind. That's what a lot of congressmen, CEOs, and all this stuff, they'll sit there and portray like they're this really good humanitarian guy. It doesn't mean because somebody makes money or somebody giving away money means that person is a good person. Does not mean that. Doesn't mean it at all, period. People who give away the most money sometimes be the most vile people. Don't believe me? Ask the Catholic Church. Oh, no, I shouldn't have went there, right? No, I shouldn't have went there, right? I'm just saying, I'm in the church too. Don't get me wrong. But what I'm saying is, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what people do. It's matter what who people are. Another big example is this, and this is things that I don't understand, especially here in America, about my American people. You can literally see. I know it's gonna make somebody mad. It's gonna make some people mad, but you can literally see how bad Donald Trump is lying. He's a liar. He's a fraudster. That's who he is. But people still believe in him because they believe in his brand that he's gonna make them a lot of money. This dude went bankrupt 6 times. They got a story out where his father gave him over $413 million. But people believe that this man is successful. He went bankrupt 6 times. He don't like paying people back. He don't like paying his debts. It's all out there. This man is hiding. He's hiding his tax returns. Every president before him put it out, but he keeps saying he's on an audit. Audits don't last this long. It don't last this long for anybody. But you think you're gonna get a part of because he put out a really good brand that he's pro-America. He wants to make America great again, but he doesn't care about America. The only person he cares about is himself. I know it probably rubs some people the wrong way for me just saying that, but I don't know if you can't see that. I don't know what to tell you. You're blinded. You're blinded. His reputation says that he's a jerk. That's what his reputation says who he is. But you fall for the brand of what they put on TV. Then you wonder why people get so upset with people nowadays, just in case. We as a society are the same as Donald Trump. We're no better and no worse. You want to say, Bean, how you going to say that? Look at what we're on. Look at what we're on right now. I'm on social media right now, right? You know me as King Bean. This is who I want y'all to think who I am. Even though I do put a lot of truths in who I am personally, but this is social media, baby. You don't know everything about me, just like I don't know everything about you. You go to Facebook, 98.9%. I say 98.9%. We put up photos, take pictures of things that's showing our life being great. We live in our best life. And that's how the song goes. We live in our best life. And deep down inside, some of us are crying inside. Our lives are living hell. You come home, it ain't crap at home. Your spouse don't love you. Your kids don't love you. But we put up these photos showing that everything is a-okay. Do that on Twitter. Do that on Instagram. Do it everywhere. Because it's funny though. Another thing, speaking of Twitter, because I know I be dropping some fire memes. Some fire memes. You know how I know? Because I get validation from Facebook and Instagram. But the people on Twitter, I know they be laughing at it. I know they be laughing, but you know what? I can't like that post. I can't retweet that post. You know why? Because my brand is more important there. If I put up something, I look at people like Crap Gamer, one of my other favorite YouTubers. He's so pro Xbox, it's hard for him to say anything good about PlayStation. He'll say it now and then, every now and then. Same thing with Kid Smooth. Same thing with Jimmy. Even though they do it more. Yeah, Jimmy, I'm calling you out too, buddy. And being pro Xbox is ridiculous. Won't call out the fallacies behind it, but they most of the time they'll support games that aren't very good just because it's with the Xbox brand. What's funny though, over the years, I've seen Next Gen 720. He was pro Xbox a lot, except for this last year. He's going pro PlayStation. I don't know if it's true or not, but mainly that's what his brand is now. But people say we're gonna kick you out of the community. You basically ostracized because you chose PlayStation. How dare you? Some people get death threats because if they're pro Xbox, they'll say something good about PlayStation, or if they're pro PlayStation, they'll say something good about Xbox. So how much is too much? How far is too far? And don't get me wrong, it's fun. I'm not saying that part ain't fun, but some of y'all people take it too far. It goes way too far. About companies who don't give a damn about nobody but the green dollars in your pocket. That's the Xbox brand. That's the PlayStation brand. That's the Nintendo brand. They want to take your money. They want to put this out. Like Nintendo has this reputation. Well, I'll say wrong word. Has this brand that they're mostly a kiddie, fun-loving, family type gaming. That's mainly what their brand is. Every once in a while, they throw in something M-rated that throw you off the box, like Bayonetta. Sony PlayStation, they're mostly an open source. They're like, hey, we're here mainly for teenagers and grown folks playing our games. And Xbox right now is caught in the middle. They used to be for like grown folks, teenagers and grown folks playing the game, but they kind of want to get into the kiddie market because they know that's a lucrative market that will always have customers. Because little kids like bright, shiny things. What kid doesn't? I did. I know you did. That's part of the problem with Xbox and their brand right now. That's why you got 18 different consoles instead of 2. Just a joke, but it's a joker right there. No, wasn't the greatest joke, but we're caught up in a world now. Your brand is more important than your reputation, man. With your brand, people can profit off of a brand. Everybody can eat off of a brand. It's just like, I don't know if you ever seen American Gangster, where Russell Crowe and Denzel Washington. Is one of the scenes where Denzel Washington character Frank Lucas was talking to I want to say Nipsey Hussle, was played by Cuba Gooding Jr. And Nipsey was selling off-brand Blue Magic. And Denzel character Frank Lucas pulled out the little baggie. He said, "This is Blue Magic. This is my brand. I stand by it. I guarantee it." Because he was mad because Nipsey was making him look bad because he's selling knockoff Blue Magic. I mean, like I said, your brand is not, I'm not saying it's not important. And I'm not saying it's not a good thing. But I don't think there's no balance between a brand and your reputation. It seems like nowadays people's brand is more important than their reputation. That's what I'm saying. And it's nothing new, to be honest with you. If you sit there and you look at through history, it's nothing new. It's same stuff we've been taught all our lives. But which would you rather have? A fire brand or a great reputation? I'm just wondering, because your brand, just like anybody's reputation can go bad if you do food stuff, but more than likely it won't. Your brand can go bad just because, more easily than anything else. Because again, like I said with Nike, imagine their stock prices did fall when they said, "Hey, we're supporting Colin Kaepernick." But I'm pretty sure it's steadily rising now. But at the time, it went bad. Another example of that is talcum powder. How many people use talcum baby powder? Raise your hand. I know I did. I know I used it on my baby girls when they were babies. You know, you put it on the baby's bottom, put them on their backside to keep them cool. But years later, it's found out that it caused cancer. It ruined Johnson and Johnson stock, but that was their brand. That was a brand name, Johnson and Johnson talcum powder, baby powder. How many of your old ladies used to use baby powder? I know a lot of. Now it might be different in the white culture. A lot of black women use baby powder. Trust me, because I know I use it. Because I used to, when I was a kid, I used to break out in heat bumps. That's why I can't stand the heat now. I would get it all over my back, and my mother and my grandmother, they would take the baby powder and put it on my back, and it would cool me off. It kept keeping me cool and helped me keep me from scratching them so much, you know. But they believed in Johnson and Johnson. When we was a kid, I don't know if y'all, I know y'all young kids don't know about this, but if you're around my age, if you're in your 40s, I'm pretty sure you remember this. There was a medicine called Father John's. I don't know if that medicine worked or not, but that was the best tasting medicine that ever existed. It was so good. We used to fake pretend like we were sick just to have that Father John's medicine. That was some good medicine. But we knew when we saw Father John's, that brand that we know what we were getting, you know? So, well, I ain't gonna keep you guys too long because honestly, I want to watch this baseball game between the Yankees and the A's. I know we didn't come to any kind of definitive conclusion because honestly, I don't know the right answer. I lean towards the reputation. Your reputation is more important than your brand. But other people who are, especially entrepreneurs, they're probably way better than I am. I know they're way better than I am. We'll say, hey, your brand's more important than your reputation. I can't say that they're wrong. I don't know. I'm not some kind of scientist or psychologist or, social engineering type dude. I don't know. I don't know the answers. I'm still learning like everybody else, but it was a topic I want to talk about, something I thought about. But like I said, personally, I think your reputation is more important than your brand because I believe your reputation defines who you are as a person, no matter if it's good, bad, or indifferent. Your brand is just something that you want the world to see, or who do you want people to think that you are? You know, that takes a lot of work to keep up. Not as far as making it a successful product, but to keep up as far as appearances goes. Because there's sometimes with your brand, you have to lie. You have to keep lying sometimes just to keep up appearances. Usually with your reputation, it is what it is. You take it or leave it. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. But hey, that's just me. That's just me. So are you guys excited for the new Assassin's Creed? And I'm not. You know what makes me mad about Assassin's Creed? Let me get to this video game stuff real quick. You know what makes me mad about Assassin's Creed? I really enjoyed last year's Assassin's Creed Origins. And I like the story of Bayek. I'm not saying this Assassin's Creed ain't good. It's getting a lot of good reviews. But it's almost like they took a chance with Assassin's Creed Origins and they want to see how the new gameplay would go. So if it flops, it'd be on Bayek's head. But if it does good, we can take what we learned from that and put it in the new game. I know you're saying, Bean, why that's what they're doing. And why would you do that? It's almost like they use Assassin's Creed Origin with Bayek's story as a sacrificial lamb, if you will, lack of a better term. And I like Bayek's story. I thought they could have expanded more on it. I know they're saying this is a prequel, but I think this is the game that they wanted to make that's coming out with the new Assassin's Creed that's coming out Friday. This is the game that they wanted to make, but they didn't use the budget to make this type of game for Origins, if that makes any sense. And so right now, I'm really not. In a way, I kind of feel salty about it. I want to buy it, I want to play it, but I don't. But I think I may rent it from Redbox. It's supposed to be in the Redbox on the 5th, so I may go and rent that game versus buying it. And the other reason is Red Dead Redemption is right around the corner at the end of the month. And that's another game that I definitely want to get. You know what I'm saying? But Assassin's Creed, wherever it's called, I don't know. The new Assassin's Creed, I can't even think. Odyssey, that's it. And I'm not saying the story may be great, it may be outstanding, but I still think they purposely put Origins out there just to test the new gameplay and to see how well it would sell and how well it would do, and people were digging it, just so they can put all the good stuff in this newer game. That's what I personally think. So I'm not really happy with Ubisoft on that. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe next year they'll come out with a new Assassin's Creed and it'll be a continuation of Bayek's story. Hopefully I'm around for that. And I would like to play that, but I like Bayek's story. I thought they could have fleshed that out more in a part two. But I know they usually like changing the protagonist, but I would love to see Bayek's story more, to be honest with you. And there's not very many games that have that kind of deep gameplay and that deep kind of storytelling that has a person of color on the cover. Or was he even on the cover? Couldn't think about it. Or have a person of color as the main character. You know? That was one thing that was unique about it. But that's just me thinking out loud. Just thinking out loud, you know. But anyway, like I always said before, if you listen this far, you might as well go ahead and hit the like button. You might as well go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And I just want to say to you guys, I know you could have been anywhere in the world, but you chose to spend it with me, and I really appreciate that. I'll give you guys a round of applause. See if I give you another one real quick. And thank you guys for hanging out with your boy King Bean. I really appreciate that. And I hope you guys have a great day. Have a wonderful tomorrow. And I'll holler at you dudes later, man. One love. Peace.